Have you ever wondered what does it take to be an artist? Or how does the artist create such amazing artwork? Well, stick around for the sketchbook tour and find out how you can start your art journey today. Welcome to my first sketchbook tour and my first video ever on YouTube. My name is Damien McCoy, and within this video, for my first completed sketchbook for 2022, you get to learn a little bit more about me as an artist and an overall person. So, let's get this show on the road. This is the actual sketchbook. It was given to me for my birthday a couple years ago, and I didn't use it until last year. Yeah, basically I got it in 2021. I didn't use it until 2022. Here we are in 2023. I started this, I believe, in March. My ex got it for me. We were already broken up. I chose to not use it out of spite, even though I thought it was a awesome looking sketchbook. The thing about this, even though I love the sketchbook, and I believe he got it off of Amazon. So yeah, he got it off of Amazon. And the paper quality isn't that great, in my opinion. But what I really love about this was the clasp. So as you can see, it kind of just opens up like so. Closes. If I can find another sketchbook like this in the future, I would definitely use this because it felt old timey. And I love Superman, if you can't already tell. So I started this in March 6th, 2022, ended on May 9th. And I drew, I drew every day, well, almost every single day, for about 3 months. So this is the first actual page of the sketchbook that I was working on. I believe this may be good for watercolor. I'm not sure. This was a quick sketch. I guess you can say a quick sketch of a portrait. This was actually my first attempt at doing a portrait since forever. So I was watching a YouTube video of this artist. I will link his name down below. Yeah, I was watching the video while I guess using the figure or the person that he was drawing as a reference. It doesn't quite look like her, but I was still pretty impressed at how much detail I got out of this drawing. Like I said, kind of faded away on the other side. If you would notice, and this was kind of like a little random, I guess, doodle sketch to practice on the paper with. It was kind of terrible. So this was a plant study I did. You notice this sketchbook was 99% pencil. This was done from a plant study in my house. So we have a lot of plants here. So this portrait I was really impressed by. I was doing like a reference from another YouTube video. YouTube really saved my art. First me wanting to draw and another inspirations to draw in other avenues. Watching other people, draw, and like I said, I love doing draw alongs or like paint alongs or whatever, And so yeah, this was done from the Art Prof channel on YouTube. You should go subscribe there because they're amazing. You should follow. plus they're a nonprofit organization, and they teach art for free on YouTube, but they need funds. So yeah, check them out. I would highly recommend you check them out. Over time, again, the pencil fades. Quick story of this guy. The great photographer Dorothea Lange, she took a photograph of this man, and yeah, I drew it. And I love drawing the wrinkles. And the guy kind of reminded me of like a bird. He had like weird bird-like features and very old, and his skin was kind of saggy and wrinkly, and he had these really pronounced. He had these really pronounced like forehead wrinkles, and his eyes were like almost bulging, but not really. I did this while I was watching the art prof video. So yeah, moving on. So a couple of days later, so backstory with these, my friend who lives in Australia, he sent me a photograph or photographs of these yellow mushrooms that he had, or he found, or he has. They're like yellow, and they look like marshmallows, like little eggs or marshmallows. I have pictures of them. Um, Hopefully, I'll put them in post. But yeah, so that's that. They're also so cool though. So another portrait study I did. The original photograph was way better. The guy was muscular, and I believe he's of African descent. I Fun fact: this is the most I've ever drawn portraits in my life. Well, this time in my life, this was one of my first attempts, or the first attempts. But I guess you can say that this was one of the first times I really wanted to focus on portraits, because I kind of liked it, and I was getting the hang of it. But we have minor setbacks. Everything is not linear, so yeah, I really enjoyed having creating these portraits. And this is again my first attempt at drawing somebody who's black, or of a different race besides white. Getting the skin tone like graphite, it was really interesting. Again, the guy was more, I guess, muscular looking in the photo, and I kind of drew him a little bit more slender and a little bit more gaunt. But he was more like his head was more like a square shape. He had like broad shoulders, big muscles, and I didn't really quite portray that too well in this. But overall, the face was pretty decent, not too bad. All right, so this is a self portrait. One of my first self portraits I've done successfully which was the first self portrait I've done successfully. It took me, I don't know, a minute, because I did it from a photo reference instead of just watching myself in the mirror. This is me. So this was done in pen and or ink, like a ballpoint pen, and this was literally taken from a reference from out from behind my house. There are a few plum trees outside of my backyard, and this isn't the only time I drew this tree. And I wanted to do a more graphic style, and plus I wanted to do pen, because for one, so far up until this point, I was getting sick of the pencil fading onto the paper, and I was like, let's try something different. And plus, again, I was looking at references and other people's work, on YouTube and getting my mojo back. Like this is the first time now me finishing the sketchbook, but me drawing for the first time at that point a year. So up until March of last year, truly started drawing for a while. I may talk about it in a future video. If you guys want that, let me know in the comments down below. I lost my mojo and I just wanted to try something different. I used pen for the first time and I wanted this illustration or drawing to be a little bit more expressive. So you see the individual marks and the individual, you know, almost like something from an older illustration book, like from Hundred Acre Wood, or I don't know, very something very expressionist. You know what I mean? Like the pen and ink was. I was trying to get a very graphic style, a very graphic style. You know, and it's like really one of my first times diving into like this kind of style and not trying to lose myself. Like not lose myself, but get too caught up into the actual strokes of the pen. And plus, I kind of accidentally use like blue ink pen that look black, but I also use Faber Castell's like brush pens I have over here in the corner. Come like ink pack, and I've used those for a while, and those were drying up, and this was like one of the last things I can get out of the I could have gotten out of those pins. But yeah, so that's the story with that. Again, thanks to Art Prof for showing me like these amazing hand studies, and yeah, hopefully you can see because like I said, the ink starting to fade, or the pen, I'll say, not pen, but pencil, excuse me, starting to fade. But I really like that hand, you know, because it's gonna really like, getting into the fabric. I wanted to capture that. I was getting pretty good at hands, you know. Or so I thought. There's another hand, a little terrible, but not too bad. This was kind of my favorite. Yeah, uh, I guess besides the first one, this was kind of my favorite. Okay, so now we're getting into figure drawings. Time figure drawings. They were timed. I guess you could say about a minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, however long. This is a figure drawing of a nude male model taken off of reference from YouTube. And yeah, the graphite started to wear off onto the other page. That's why there are no double pages or spreads. I guess doing spreads is not typically not my thing. I mean, I haven't really tried, but I want to work on it. I want to work on it. Yeah, this is the guy. I really love like back dimples. I think it's something about drawing back dimples or just back dimples in general. So, you know, people, yeah, it does something to me. Poses, this model, his poses were so extravagant. I love seeing poses on models that are very ethereal in a way, very like dancer-esque. Like each pose told the story, and that's what I love about that. So next, again, is another figure drawing study. I really enjoyed like this pose. Like, in some of these, I went back to kind of, I guess, fill in the blanks a little bit and left them unfinished. But I think this is part of the process, getting down like the movements and letting your hand just like flow onto the paper. So yeah, this is the final piece. I think I did okay. I think yeah, I did okay. I didn't do great, but I didn't do bad. But you know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I know how to draw figures, like like bodies, but I have a weird tendency to lean my characters a little far towards the right, and also I tend to have a scale issue when it comes to my drawing. I might have to blur this. Okay. So I wanted to experiment with color at this point. Like I said, I forgot to date some of my work, or most of my work actually. But yeah, so I wanted to experiment with color, and with marker, and I wanted to just see how it would take to the paper and all that, and this was the result. I wanted to do like a landscape because I love doing landscapes. So it was like a mountain range, very abstract. If I do say so myself, it's very abstract. Not my best work, but not the worst either. And debatable. This is, yeah, an abstract piece. Oh, and you see how it kind of blend through, you know, onto the paper. Definitely, yeah. So on to the next. Again, so this was a plant study I done from a bamboo plant. Because we have a couple bamboo plants here around the house. And yeah, I love the motif of this. Or looking at the plant itself. I love the way the plant draped, how the leaves draped around each other and just played so beautifully with each other. And this was done in color pencil using my color pencil set. It was done in color pencil, and this is the first time. First, I did this in in graphite. I quickly did the sketch in graphite. I wanted to color, and yeah, um, yeah, this color, uh, this which is all like, well, this is all a better color you're ever gonna get. So this page for the feet lovers are feet studies, minus the toenails. I don't know why I never draw fingernails or toenails. So I know I hate drawing fingernails and toenails. I have to learn how to draw them effectively because for some reason I hate drawing them, or either I hate drawing them and I forget drawing them. At the same time, I'm like, oh yeah, I have to draw the fingernails and the toenails. They're hints in here, but for the most part, you don't see the toenails. You just see the feet. Again, done via art prof. They did the art studies or the foot studies and things are art prof for the foot studies. More feet. One of the teachers from the art prof town said to think of drawing toes like stairs. And so I kind of used that effect. And it kind of worked. It kind of worked. And I was like kind of impressed. I did toenails. And drawing feet are like very interesting because they're like crooked. It's like drawing hands as well. Those are little feet studies. Okay, so this was a drawing I did for my birthday. Yeah, I love elephants. I haven't drawn too many animals in my lifetime. This was a elephant named Ellie. She was the cutest elephant. Me and my ex partner went to the zoo. This beautiful elephant. So this was an eye done and pen. Yeah. Um, and side note, the one thing I love about using pen, and I might have mentioned this earlier. The reason why I love using pen is because like all my strokes are deliberate, and yeah, I don't have to worry about erasing anything. If I make a mistake, oh well, I can just make a new line. Which drawing in ink or drawing in pen allows you to like let loose more and make definitive choices. That's why I love drawing more in ink. I ain't having drawn too much things in pen or ink. Another figure study, I guess, exercise. Just gonna skip over this. This was a figure. Like I said, the proportions are a little bit off, but like I said, I did enjoy drawing the wild figure. It taught me like lessons and kind of hated it, but I love it at the same time. It's not that great. It's not that great, but it's something. It's something. And to get more of these figure studies. This was the final. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed drawing the outcome of this. How the face ended up. The body ended up. So yeah, the feet horrible. Don't look at the feet, but everything else to me is okay. Hopefully you guys can see this next one. So what this was supposed to be a self-portrait of myself, taken I think several years ago at this point. I'm also working on another type of drawing, whereas on my iPad on Procreate, I'm working on a digital version of this. For some reason, I love this figure. It reminded me of a mannequin. This sketchbook, like I said, was for me to grow as an artist. Okay. If you like this video, then make sure to leave a like and comment on what sketch was your favorite. Or just let me know about your art journey. We're almost done with the sketchbook. Oh, by the way, the hands are terrible. But I kind of like the shading on this. But in the face, oh my god, the face. I just hate, I don't know. So this was kind of like a first, I guess, mental thing I did from imaginary. Something I just drew from basically imaginary, like or out of my head. Not completely, but yeah, it's because it started off as a reference, but then I kind of warped it into my own. I kind of warped the pose into my own, and I wanted to give like a little abstract flair to it. You know what I mean? Kind of looks like a Grinch, like a sexy Grinch. hair studies, hair studies, face studies, like deconstructing faces and angles, shapes. I don't know, very rudimental, very, the way that I work as far as drawing is concerned is very cerebral, ironically enough. I kind of work my way back, but yeah, just trying to draw heads in different angles, different, shapes, different sizes. And I guess a drawing from reference. I like it. I side profile view. I like the lips and the nose, and the hair as well. When the hair came out good and the eyes and the eyebrows and the whole facial structure came out good. Yeah, I was kind of impressed. So this was done off of Pinterest. I love drawing clothes, and I thought I wanted to become a professional designer for clothes, like a clothing designer and a fashion designer. And the photo was amazing. The I guess the overall composition of the piece was very enamoring. The colors were like very earthy, very like browns, you know, like a little bit of reds, you know, like greens, yellows, the detail of the jacket, you know, a bit of the hand, you know, yeah. Oh, nose studies. So this are some nose studies I wanted to do. I wanted to experiment with. I love this is one of my favorite drawings I did within the sketchbook, if not my favorite. Because I drew this while I was on FaceTime with someone. Draw you on FaceTime, you know, while we were on FaceTime. And they were like, yeah, sure, sure, sure. They were falling asleep on me, but I just managed to get the features. Because on the features, their lips were amazing. And like, I was like, can I draw you? Now, meanwhile, I guess they were like laying down. So in reality, they were actually laying like this on their side. I kind of turned the paper around while I was drawing it, but having to draw in like a portrait mode, you know, while the person was horizontal, you know, or horizontal. Um, yeah, pretty fun. And again, this was like my first time drawing a person, you know, in real time, in real time. So, alright, so technically, this is the last drawing. Yeah, this I forget what kind of fish this was, but it was a fish on Pinterest. I drew from reference. So yeah, it was kind of like this reddish, this like red fish that like has like the fins or like fabric. I feel like chiffon fabric. Yeah, so this is the last the last full piece, and I wanted it to be like a full one completed or somewhat completed sketch by the end of it. This was like the last day I was working on. I was working on in the sketchbook. Like I said, and I drew for the most part every day or every other day. So yeah, I was pretty proud of this, how the way it turned out. And again, scale. I had issues with drawing scale. First, getting the actual overall fish going through on paper, but the way it ended up, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed how it ended up and turned out. It may not be pretty, but it's pretty damn close to being good. So yeah, you've come to the conclusion. Oh, and I probably haven't said this, which I believe I haven't said this, but yeah, and maybe you guys don't care, or maybe you guys will figure it out anyways, or but if you notice, I guess my hand or my my speech or whatever, and wondering why. So if you guys are wondering why I sound like this or why my hand looks like this or looks like that, I have CP. I'm a wheelchair user. I have been since birth, and so yeah, growing up with a disability, I've always felt like an odd one out. Being the person in my family with a disability, I guess a physical disability, I would say. I felt very isolated, and drawing is what saved my life. And it's continually to save my life. Hopefully, I'll see you guys next time in the video. Bye.